Hello, hello. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello. Are they gonna get on tonight? Hello, hello. Oh, we're gonna see if anybody's gonna get on tonight. Hello, hello. Anybody gonna get on? Guess we're gonna find out, huh? Just waiting. Waiting to see if somebody's gonna hop on. Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Is that Tawny? Are you on, Tawny? We'll see. Anybody's gonna get on. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Anybody? We'll see. Might be a real short live. Oh, there we go. There's Tawny girl. I thought that was you. Thank you for the hearts. How are you? Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Maybe. From Michigan. The Fonz? Okay. All right, well, I'm going to make this video for YouTube anyway, so I guess I'll just keep going and hopefully some more people will hop on. If you're just joining us and you're new here, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Renee and I'm from California, if you're not familiar. The reason I'm here, I started my TikTok in March of 2024. The reason I started my TikTok is because in September of 2023, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. That's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my spirit guides, and then they slowly breadcrumbed me to my purpose, which is to be here to help others through loss, trauma, to uplift others, just to give people a community to go if you're alone or you're suffering loss and you don't know what to do or you just need to talk about it. That's what my community is for. I only have 2 rules on my page. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. The first one is I just ask that you always be kind. And the second one is, as we talk absolutely no politics here. Just not at all what my page is about. It's not against one side or the other. Just, like I said, just not at all what my page is about. There's a million other pages out there for that. So, that being said, I always like to say I am on my journey of life where I am and you're on your journey of life where you are. And none of us are going to all agree on everything. So we agree to disagree on my page. And I just ask that if you can't do that, you hop off and keep scrolling. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. Anybody? So normally when I go live, I have a topic. So tonight we're talking about gratitude, actually. So I'm going to put my glasses on, and then they've just been so dirty this week. See if I can get the smudges out of them again. Usually I make it worse. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I don't know, maybe TikTok's not letting comments come through because I do that sometimes. And I don't know why. I have all my filters off. I have absolutely no control over that. I just want to mention too that cannot talk tonight. We are not shy here. So, yep, I just made them worse. That's what I was afraid of. So if you're experienced a loss or you've lost somebody and you're not dealing well, this is the community. Welcome to my page. You're welcome to pipe in anytime. Actually, my community depends on it. My interaction with you, that's what makes my page go around. And I just totally made my glasses worse. Texas, is it Maryland? Totally made my glasses worse. See if I can fix it because I need them to read my paper maybe. Well, if I read it from here, I might be able to read it. So anyway, enough jibber jabber. If you're just hopping on, Maryland. Okay, good. Let us know who you are, where you're from. Okay, I just made them worse. I seem to do that before every live. All right, so tonight we're talking about gratitude. Having a practice of gratitude. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to comment. Like I said, we're not shy here. You're never interrupting me. My page is your page. I'm going to encourage you to practice gratitude daily. So this is, I'm finding something through my healing journey after losing my husband. Practicing gratitude has really helped my journey in so many ways. You can do it first thing in the morning or right before bed or in the middle of the day if that's when it works out in your schedule. Examples of gratitude. Your support means more than you know, right? So maybe you're telling somebody your support means a lot to me. I appreciate what you did, right? Just, maybe verbally telling people that you're grateful for whatever that may be, right? Thank you for taking your time. So those are some ways that you can verbally. Nope. Okay. And I don't think I have a mod on tonight, so if you comment again and it's not nice, I might just have to block you. Okay. Or you mean the world to me, right? So there's different ways to express gratitude or to practice gratitude. There's the verbal way where you're telling somebody that you're grateful for them. You're grateful for their help. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. My patients are a little thinner tonight than normal. Normally I hate blocking somebody, but when one troll starts, they all keep going. Okay, so if you're here, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee, and we're talking about practicing gratitude tonight and the different ways how to do that. So, like I said, there's many ways. There's the verbal way, which some of that I give you. Thank you for taking your time. I appreciate you. I appreciate when you do this for me, right? Telling people verbally, showing your gratitude verbally. Ways to practice gratitude. There's other ways. Journaling. I love to journal my gratitude. Since I started my healing journey, since I lost my husband a little over 2 years ago, I write, and it doesn't always end up in the morning. It depends on how much time I have through my day and what my schedule is. So it can be in the morning, like I said, it can be in the middle of the day, in the evening, it doesn't matter. Just practice gratitude. I promise you, if you practice gratitude, you will see it in your life. Hey, Danielle, how are you? We're talking about gratitude tonight. Well, I am. Nobody's talking to me. I didn't know if comments weren't coming through or what. Tell my brother happy birthday yesterday. I think I did tell him, but you can tell him again. So gratitude journal, that's what we're talking about. And I love to journal my gratitude. Some days I'll just, if I'm in a hurry, maybe I'll just write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. Hi, I'm Jessie from Michigan. Well, Jessie from Michigan, welcome. Glad to have you here. My name is Renee. Welcome. Tonight we're talking about gratitude. And so in my journal, like I said, some days, depending on how much time I have, when I'm doing it in the morning, at night, I like to, I'm thankful for my kids, or thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate that. I'm grateful for my friend, or, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head today, whatever it may be. But I promise you, when you start practicing gratitude, it will show up, you will see a difference in your life. And so I always recommend, for example, my son will call me, or I'll call my son and I can tell he's having a bad day. And I'm like, okay, sit down and write 10 things. You agree? Nice to meet you too. If he's having a bad day, I'll say, okay, sit down and write 10 things you're grateful for today. And 9 times out of 10, when you sit down and you're kind of in a funk or a mood, or you're having some depression or whatever it may be, right? If you sit down and write 10 things you're grateful for, or 15 or 20, it'll help pull you out of that funk, even just a little bit sometimes. So number 2, expressing gratitude to loved ones. Like I said, you can express it through letters, verbally, email, text messages, whatever it is, right? So there's all kinds of different forms of practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude meditation. And I'm not quite sure, my guide gave me that one and I wasn't quite sure what she meant by that. Maybe meditating on what you're grateful for. I know sometimes, maybe that will manifest itself in other ways. Create a gratitude jar, right? So maybe you have a jar where every day you write things that you're grateful for, and then maybe once a day you pull out and you're like, okay, I'm grateful that I have an apartment today, or I'm grateful that I have a car, whatever it may be, right? A gratitude jar. Volunteer or give back. That's a great way to show gratitude, right? Maybe the universe, God, source, divine, whatever it is that you say or believe, has showed you, oh, thank you. And I'm not sure who's sending the hearts. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. But maybe, like I said, God, source, universe, creator, whatever it is that you call or say, has showed you, have been good to you, maybe in the last month or the last couple months or the year, or whatever it may be, right? And maybe you're doing well in life. And so you volunteer or show gratitude that way. I know at different times through the years when my kids were little, we struggled when the kids were little and people helped us, right? And so when my kids got older and they didn't require as much, and maybe I have some more funds, if somebody was needing, maybe I would go to the Angel Tree and I would donate gifts and show my gratitude, paying it forward that way. Or I know one time I worked with a gal and, my kids were pretty much gone or not home. Gratitude and positive thinking is powerful. Hearts were me. Oh, okay. Yes. I figured it was you, Daniel, but I wasn't sure. It is very powerful, and it really does play a part in your life. And I think when people that don't do it would really see a difference in their life if they did. And so, like I was saying, so one time I was working a job, I think I only had 2 kids at home and we had extra money, and there was a girl at work that was struggling, and it was Christmas time. And so I said, you know what, give me your kids' Christmas list and I'm going to buy your gifts this year. Right. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying, when you're able to pay it forward if you can. Guys, excuse me just a second. I have a cat that decides she wants out now. Ugh. Sorry about that. I don't have a litter box in here, so if she has to go potty, I don't want her going potty in here. But yeah, so volunteering or giving back, right? Paying it forward, showing your gratitude that God, universe, source, whatever, you know, helped you through the year or whatever it is. So you're paying it forward, showing your gratitude. Saying thank you more often, right? How many times do people do things for us? Little things, even small things, little things, big things, whatever. Are you saying thank you for those things? You know, just when we're coming out of a store and somebody holds the door, are you saying thank you, right? Showing gratitude. Sorry, bad I'm out of shape walking to the door. I just did a whole trail yesterday, like a mile out, mile back. I was fine, but getting up to the door, that's crazy. Thank you for that. I'm not sure. Do you have a name, user 31224380702007? Do you have a name and where you're from? So yeah, so this is a short one tonight, guys. So like I said, we're just talking about gratitude. So I just encourage you, that's all I had. I just wanted to encourage you that how important gratitude is. Like I said, for me, it's a gratitude journal. I journal, and I've gotten lax, I have to admit, the last couple weeks about, you know, taking the time to write down what I'm grateful for every single day. 3 things, 4 things, 10 things, whatever it is, you know. And for me, when I do journal, it's different, right? Depending on where I'm at in my life and where things are going. You know, sometimes I only do 3, and then the next time I might journal 15 things that I'm grateful for. But I encourage you to keep or have some kind of gratitude practice anyway. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. So has anybody had a loss or anything they need to get off their chest? Sorry, I have a hair and I can't find it. There it is. That they would need to talk to. I really can't talk tonight. That's what happens when I take a night off. I was so tired last night. So, well, I'm waiting to see if there's any other comments of anybody. If you're not familiar, I do have a YouTube channel also, and that's under Scorpio Medium. So all the videos you see here on my channel, my page, whatever it's called, you'll find over there. The only difference is if you like my lives and you miss one and you would like to catch it, I do upload those over there. So I would love it if you subscribed. Like I said, that's under Scorpio Medium. I am here Sunday through Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Every now and again, I do take a night off depending on how my life is going. Yesterday it was kind of hectic, and so I was tired. So I did take last night off, but I am generally here Sunday through Wednesday. I don't know why I want to keep saying Monday. Sunday through Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. This week I am starting something new. If you are grieving or have experienced a loss, I am starting a Zoom meeting on Thursday nights. Your husband died this past September. I am so sorry, Marilyn. Well, this is what the community is for. So if you would like to talk about it, you're sure welcome to. Ash, thank you for the follow. Also, if you're interested, like I was just saying, I am starting a Zoom grief meeting on Thursday nights. And that's at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So that way it gives East Coast people, so they're not going right into their bedtime. So I am starting that on Thursday. And if you are interested, let me know, DM me, whatever, and I can send you a link or how to dial in for that. You don't have to talk. You know, you can talk, or you could just get on and listen. I'm just creating it so people know that they're not alone, right? That they have a safe place to come. Besides here when I'm only on live, 45 minutes to an hour a night. So people know that they have a place to come if they're alone, and they don't feel alone, I should say. So I'm doing that on Thursday nights. If you're interested, I am also a psychic medium. I do readings. If you're interested in a full reading, you can do those. I cannot talk tonight. It's terrible. If you go down into my bio, get my email address, send me an email if you would like a full reading with somebody on the other side. Those are usually an hour for $60. I did forget to say on Wednesday nights, I do mini reads, but those are just yes or no questions. Psychic yes or no questions on Wednesday nights. I used to do pull people through from the other side on Wednesdays, and it just got to be too crazy. What people don't understand, if you don't have my ability, is that if I've got 40 people in the chat asking me if their aunt, their uncle, their dad, their brother, their husband, their wife is coming through, I have that many people on the other side, if not more, coming through to me that don't understand wait your turn, because they're like, hey, she can hear me. She can give my message to my loved one. And so I hear, you know, that the old Charlie Brown, what, and I don't know whose message is going to who, from who, to who, and it's just too confusing. And it just totally drains my energy. So if you would like a full reading with somebody on the other side, send me an email. We can set that up. Last but not least, I do have a Venmo. If you enjoy my content and you would like to leave me a tip, you can do that there. Never expected, but always appreciated. Thank you for the hearts. And that's pretty much it. I know I ran through that really quickly tonight. Marilyn, are you still there? Did you want to talk about your loss? How are you dealing? Aren't you dealing? Sorry, guys, I've got something on my driving me nuts there. Anybody else experience a loss or anything they just need to talk about or get off their chest? Danielle, thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. I'll move that just a little bit. Anybody? Nobody wants to talk? Boy, we've got a quiet crowd tonight. Hello, hello. That or they're blocking my comments. It's always hard to say. Okay. Not really want to talk? Okay, that's fine. Well, just know if you do need to talk or you're struggling, you're not sure what to do. Let me just quickly, if you're new here, give you a little bit of my background so you understand where I'm coming from. So September 14th of 2023, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. And at that point, we were together for 32 years. I had never been away from my husband more than 2 weeks ever in that 32 years. Never knew an adult life without him. And people just kept telling me, Renee, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I literally didn't know how to do that. And at one point, I wasn't sure I was going to stay on this planet. I have to be careful what I say because they'll kick me off. My youngest daughter said to me, she said, Mom, you realize your life is worth living, right? And at that point, that was my light bulb moment. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay, but I have to figure out how to heal myself because my husband didn't leave me in a great spot financially. So therapy was out and I knew group therapy wasn't going to work for me either because I'm the unique girl. I'm the circle that don't fit in the square. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going no group therapy. That ain't going to work. And so at that point, it's like, okay, I have to figure out how to heal me because I can't continue going on the way that I'm going. And so I started to deep dive into meditation and journaling. And one of the first messages I ever got in meditation from my guides was, what heals you will heal others. And that's when I discovered that I had my abilities and, well, some of them, some came later. And that was kind of my first puzzle piece or my first breadcrumb to my purpose, which is to help others with loss and trauma and uplift others. So that's kind of my background. So if you ever need somebody, you're sure welcome to DM me, send me a message, send me an email, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm here to help. That's what I'm here for. So, and that's what this community is for. And we would love to have you on again. I have a lot of great regulars that hop on in and out, and I have a really great community here. So, what gifts? I am a psychic medium. And did you have a name and where you're from? And I get messages from my spirit guides. I talk to my spirit guides, my spirit team. So that's kind of where I'm at. Does anybody have any other questions? Sarah from Georgia, is that right? Welcome. Glad to have you here. So if you're just hopping in, tell us who you are, where you're from. I do not have any messages for you, Marilyn. If you would like a reading with your husband, you can email me and we can set one of those up. I don't do any on live anymore. It's just too hard because I'm not only pulling in your husband, I'm pulling in everybody else that's wanting a message in the comments. And then it ends up being a zoo, because what people don't understand is when spirit on the other side, Gary from West Virginia, welcome. When spirit on the other side knows that somebody can hear them, they're like, oh, she can hear me. She can give my loved one the message, right? And so they will bombard me all at the same time. And they do not understand wait your turn. They do not get it, because they are just so excited somebody can hear them. And they can get their message to their loved one, hopefully. So yeah. I charge $60, which is really, I think, is fair. And that's for an hour. And it's kind of a two-part thing. So how I do it, because unless I'm in the room with you, I can usually pick up really great when I'm in the room with you. So what happens is generally, so you send me an email, and I have you send me a picture of whoever it is that you would like me to connect with on the other side. Hey, how are you, Mikey? So you send me a picture of whoever it is that you would like to connect with. Thank you for that, Rose. On the other side, and just their name. That's the entirety of what I want. That just helps me know who that I'm connecting with on the other side, that I'm kind of bringing through the right person. And so I sit down and I do a reading with that person first. I kind of get some information first from them. They'll usually give me a good page, if not more. And then what happens is then I video chat with you, and I give you the message that they give me, but I also invite them back in when we do our video chat. And so a lot of times they'll come back in and give me even more. And so, yeah, so it's kind of like a two-part experience, sort of. So yeah, that's kind of how I do it, unless we're in person, because I can pick them up right now. It's just harder for me without a photo or a name, if you're a ways away from me. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And that was Sarah, right? Sarah, Georgia. Can you elaborate what the LOL is for? Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Yes, okay. I thought so. I just want to, if I keep saying it, then it's easier for me to remember. So if you get on again, then I'll know. But yeah, if you are interested in a reading, all you have to do is send me an email, and that's down in my bio. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate those very, very much. Is it Blair? Where are you from? Have you been on here before? I try to remember all the handles, but I don't always, because I'm generally on here 4 nights a week, and I've been doing this for over a year. So, well, actually, no. This in March, it'll be 2 years I've been doing TikTok. So, yeah. Okay, does anybody else have anything? Anybody experience a loss or just anything they need to talk about tonight? Anybody? Okay, guys. Yes, I have been here before, from Virginia. Okay, I thought so. Like I said, I try to remember people, but sometimes it gets to be hard because I have, I don't know, like 6 different social medias. So I'm not just on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Lemon, I'm on Clapper, I have 2 Facebook accounts, and I have a YouTube. So sometimes it gets a little difficult to remember everyone. But welcome back. I'm glad that you came back. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Does anybody have anything else they need to talk about tonight? So tonight, if you missed it, we were talking about gratitude. So if you missed it and you would like to catch it, this will be uploaded over either later tonight or in the morning over to my YouTube channel, Scorpio Medium. So does anybody else going once? Going twice? Nobody has anything else they want to say, add, ask, talk about? Nobody? Okay, well, on that note, just a reminder, like I said, on Thursday nights, I'm starting a grief Zoom meeting. So that's at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Grief question? What's your question? We do talk about grief here. I lost my husband, 28 months ago, 26 months ago, something like that. And so we talk a lot about grief or loss here. But yes, I am starting a grief meeting on Zoom on Thursday nights. So if you would like to get in on that, DM me, send me an email, something, and I can get you the link or how to dial in for that. And I think the dial in is going to be every week as I set up the meeting. I'm not exactly sure. I'm very technologically challenged, so very proud of myself that I was able to set the meeting up and get that far. But if you're interested this Thursday night, like I said, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, Pacific Standard Time. That way East Coast people can still hop on and it's not too terribly late yet. If you'd like that information, go in my bio, figure out how to get a hold of me or send me a DM. Is it free? Yes, it will absolutely be free. It's just a place. Thank you, Mr. Dan, for the rose. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to create a place where people who are grieving can come, and you don't have to talk. You can be on mute the whole time, or you can choose to talk, whatever you choose to do. I'm just trying to create a community where people can come and not feel alone. Okay. How can I help? Well, let's see. My husband unalived himself of 32 years, and he didn't leave me in a great spot financially. So if you're not aware of my story, I'll go over it just real quick again. My husband didn't leave me in a great spot financially, and so I couldn't afford therapy. Like I said, we were together for 32 years. I have never been away from him more than 2 weeks ever. Thank you for the follow, Molly. And never knew an adult life without my husband. And so after he unalived himself, my entire world crumbled. And so since he didn't leave me anything financially, I couldn't go to therapy, and I couldn't afford, and I wouldn't go to group therapy because I'm the circle that don't fit in the square. So once I decided that I was going to stay on this planet, because at first I wasn't sure I was going to, because I didn't know how to live without him, I had to figure out how to live without him and how to move forward, because I literally couldn't breathe. And so I started to deep dive into meditation and journaling, and that's when I discovered that I had gifts, my abilities to talk to my spirit guides, and then the first message they ever give me is, what helps you will help others. And so that's why I'm here. That's my purpose in life now, is to help other people through their loss, through their trauma, to uplift others. So that's how I can help. I can show you what I did to help heal yourself. I can't heal you, but I can show others what worked for me, right? And be there and walk beside them. And not only that, what most people don't understand is I'm not just here to help you through your loss. I'm here to do it full circle. And that's my goal eventually one day, is to have, a place where people can actually physically go and not feel alone, and to heal. And not just to heal, but for people like me, for instance, my whole world of 32 years crumbled by his one choice. Nothing of my world was left but my kids, my pets, my grandkids, and my apartment, and my best friend. And so where did that leave me, right? So yes, maybe I could figure out how to heal, but then I had to figure out, okay, now what's next for me? And there's a lot of people out there like that they're like, okay, now I'm dealing with my grief, I'm dealing with this, I'm healing, but now where do I go? And that's my goal in life, is to take it full circle and to help people go, okay, here you are. Where do you want to be? Let's get you there, right? And take the healing process and all of that full circle. So anyway, does anybody else have any other questions, comments, concerns, anything? Anyone? If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. Okay, so like I said, I'm just doing reminders real quick here. So like I said, Thursday night grief meeting on Zoom. If you want information, send me an email, DM me something. I can get you the login Thursday night for that. Wednesday night, we do mini reads. It's just yes or no questions, psychic question, yes or no. That's it. On Wednesday nights, I'm always here. I try to be consistent as possible, Sunday through Wednesday. My name is Rihanna, and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Excuse me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Dan. I appreciate that, heart me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here is what I meant to say. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Dan. So yeah, and like I said, if you're interested in a full reading, you can go down to my bio and find my email, and that's how you would set that up. If you missed the very beginning, I also have a YouTube channel that's under Scorpio Medium. So not only the little video clips and reels that I make every day on here go over there, but also my lives. So if you like my lives and you would miss one and you would like to catch it, go over to YouTube to Scorpio Medium, and you can, I would love it if you subscribed, and that's where you can catch those. I upload those over there, usually that night or the next day, depending on how crazy my night is. DKS, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to hop off here unless anybody else has something else they want to add, comment, say. Anybody? Going once? Going twice? All right, then. Well, I will be back here. So let's see. What is today? Monday. Molly. Hey, Molly. So today's Monday, so I will be back here tomorrow night. No, Monday was yesterday. Today's Tuesday. I wasn't on last night, so it threw me off. So today's Tuesday. So tomorrow night we'll be doing mini reads as long as I have a moderator. I can't do it without a mod. So if I have a moderator on here, I'll be back tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, doing mini reads, yes or no questions only. And on that note, I will see you all tomorrow night, and until we meet again.